Hello and welcome back to Homestand Studios. I'm your host, Sarah Said, with Jelani, Goodridge-Reid, and Justin Pooni. Obviously, we're talking about the NFL, and we have some good news. It seems like Jimmy G's injury might actually not be season-ending. He might be able to avoid surgery and maybe make it to the playoffs. So I guess Brock Purdy is just temporary for now. Jelani, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm glad. I want to see Jimmy G. I like Jimmy G, okay? And I feel really bad. Now, how will Brock Purdy look? That's the big question, of course. He's Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft, obviously. We've seen it, though. We've seen backups actually go on runs. Nick Foles,
Okay,
remember? Hostetler, okay? That's happened as well. So, yes, this situation is a lot different now, okay?
Yeah.
This is a guy that has never played. He's a third stringer. So, I just hope that he holds down the fort. That's what they're going to ask him to do. Just be Jimmy G. Don't make mistakes. We have a running game that can travel. We have guys on the defense that can do everything, really. They have the best defense in football. So we'll see what happens. I just ask, can he win a playoff game? That's the debate right now. Will he be able to? Because let's say Seattle wins that division.
No,
Let's say though, right? And if they end up being a wild card, do they go to Seattle, win that game? Do they go to, let's say, Minnesota? It's tough in Minnesota, that stadium, right? Do they go to Dallas with a team
rematch of last year, eh?
Hey, it would be. So there's a lot of questions there, right? I don't know how he's gonna look. We're gonna have to see. Right now, he looks good. You know, that last game he looks pretty good, but there's no tape, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how it looks.
I think everybody's kind of. I don't think Jimmy G's gonna play because it's in 7 to 8 weeks.
It is a bit generous.
The Super Bowl is in 10 weeks from now, right? Even if on a good, it might be the NFC Championship game or like the divisional round, and who knows if the 49ers even make it that far, right?
It's true.
That's up to Brock Purdy. I think everybody's kind of, like I was listening to a lot of people talking yesterday. The 49ers will be fine. Brock Purdy.
I know.
Okay, let's not slander Jimmy G that bad. Like Jimmy G led a team to a Super Bowl. He was making $25 million a year for a reason. He was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL at one point in time.
He was.
For a reason, right? He has skill.
He wins games, man.
We have not. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant and a third round pick. The third string quarterback for a reason, right? I don't think I think the Niners season is done, right? I
don't see them winning a Super Bowl.
They can make the playoffs, but I think if they go to Dallas, go to Minnesota, hell, maybe even go to Seattle. They still got to go to Seattle.
That would be a tough game.
Seattle's defense is not looking good, but Geno's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this year.
Comeback player of the year.
Right? So, why I think this is some positive news to spin on, I still don't see Jimmy G playing this year. I think it's done.
And the thing without Jimmy G, the Niners do not win games.
No,
okay?
they
9-29 without
Kyle
Jimmy G.
Shanahan can all win games without him.
He can't. That's 23%. Right? So that's a lot to ask for. Okay, a lot of people, again, like you said, a lot of people like San Francisco's still going to go to the NFC Championship. I think we're forgetting how hard it is. Even though the NFC has taken a step back this year,
Philly,
there are
Dallas,
still a lot of physical
Minnesota.
teams, a lot of talented teams. Can he outplay a Jalen Hurts? Can he outplay a Dak Prescott?
Can he outplay a Taylor Heineke?
I don't know about that. I don't know. We have
this
not
kind of
seen
like
it.
a false hope situation.
Yeah,
It kind of is.
Like a
right?
buzz, it's
feel
creating buzz, but it's
I think it's kind of like a PR spin by the 49ers. Like there's hope, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, did they mention this because they didn't get Baker Mayfield? That's another thing you could kind of
maybe,
you know?
But Kyle Shanahan did say it would surprise him that if they would pick the Baker Mayfield. I don't think Baker Mayfield.
That would never work, in my opinion.
He has Kevin Stefanski is kind of in that same mold under the Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan tree. But I don't think Baker in San Francisco would work.
No, and we'll see what Purdy has.
All right, so time to rack your brains
Ooh.
for and to come up with the teams that you think will fall out of the playoffs and which ones will make it.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So right now, both my teams are from the NFC East.
Oy,
actually,
the best division of football, eh?
Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm looking at the Commanders. I think they're going to be in. Right now, they're not. They're on the outside looking in the hunt. But with Taylor Heineke, these guys play different. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his voice in the locker room. I don't know if it's his play. But when he's out there on the field, Washington's a whole different unit.
Right.
Okay, I like what they have. Okay, in terms of their schedule, Giants coming in Week 15. That's a huge game. The loser of that game, their playoff chances drop by 40%. That's a huge game, and I think the Commanders win that.
Ooh.
Okay, you're talking about they're going to play San Francisco. We just talked about Purdy. We'll see. Okay, they play Dallas. the last week of the season, but maybe Dallas might be sitting their starters at that time. We don't know. And they play the Browns. The Browns with Deshaun, I don't know. He's still rusty. We'll see
very
what happens,
rusty.
right? So
Very, very rusty.
I think the Commanders can really make a run here towards the playoffs. I like what they have. In terms of the team that's in, that will be out, the Giants. I was never believing the Giants this year. I think it was only Saquon. Shout out to your boy, Kayvon Thibodeau. But I think that it was only Saquon Barkley.
Are you just saying that because now it looks like Odell's dreams as the Cowboy are done?
No.
He's gonna go to the Giants.
Odell, bro, come.
No, what are you talking about? After all yesterday, all the
okay,
reports
make
of
it happen.
injuries and
I know,
stuff like
just
that?
make it happen still.
Okay.
I don't care. Just sign him. But I think that the Giants, it was nice, right? It was nice. Daniel Jones, okay, whatever.
Vanilla
But
Vic?
I hate that nickname. No. But I don't see them winning these games. So look at their final stretch, okay? So they have Washington, of course. I think that's an L. They got the Eagles twice, okay? Remember, though, you never know, the Eagles might be sitting their starters, but it's still a tough game. And then you're talking about how they're playing Minnesota as well. The one game I do see them winning, like for sure, is Indianapolis. But other than that, you just name the teams that they're playing, it's going to be tough. So I think they're going to be out.
Justin, your turn.
So you do the NFC. I'm going to do the AFC. I think the Las Vegas Raiders, for the second straight year, can go on a run at the end of the season and make the playoffs. If you look at
That'd be crazy.
if you look at their schedule, they play the Rams, the Steelers. They have pretty easy games. I think the toughest game might be the last game of the season when they play the Kansas City Chiefs, who
And they
might be resting everybody, right? So I think the Raiders, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams have that chemistry now. Josh Jacobs is running hard.
Jacobs is doing a great job.
Their defense worries me for sure. It worries me. But I think just the way that offense is humming and the way they believe and the way they've rallied around Derek Carr and this team. And Josh McDaniels, he was on your fraud watch.
I put him on fraud watch.
And he turned it around once you put him on fraud watch,
I
right?
know. He heard me.
He heard you. So I think the Raiders definitely for the second straight year, I'd love to see them make the playoffs. And as for the team that I think is going to fall out, it pains me to say this because I like a lot of guys on their team, the New York Jets. I think this is a very young
You guys are
team.
both picking New York, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Preying on their downfall.
I guess so.
I guess.
I guess we won't be traveling to New York anytime soon.
I will be.
Okay, I guess I feel bad for you. But the Jets, while they have a great young pieces, right? I just feel they're might be hit that wall, and then they're gonna, just kind of fall off. And they still got to play Miami, Buffalo. There's going to be games where they're going to lose, right?
They're going to need those ones.
And they're going to need those games to win, exactly, especially against a team like Miami where wild card positioning and stuff like that. So I think the Jets fall out. The Raiders bump in.
That'd be great to see the Raiders. I like Derek Carr. So
The NFL is better when the Raiders are in the playoffs. And the
I've
Raiders
always
are
wanted
prominent.
the relevancy,
Exactly.
of the Raiders. I've always wanted that. So
Wow. Okay. Well, thanks for
What about you,
those
Sarah?
picks, guys.
What about you?
We're not gonna. It's
Yeah.
not about me, guys.
The Titans fall. No, Titans couldn't fall.
Nah,
out of
they got the
playoffs.
division locked because the Colts are the Jags and the Texans are.
They fired their GM and they're still going
I
to win
know.
the division.
Yeah, why'd you
Well,
trade it? Bro?
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Homestand NFL. See you guys next time.